Same shit every fucking day. I come on, it's a fucking epic.
I thought you were supposed to be here at 9:30, Pat Cooper.
What do you want me to do? At the 6 o'clock, the court TV or court radio.
Court radio.
Fucking thing. I'm
Wow, your career's taking off. Court radio.
Court
Radio.
He's the future, not me. I'm fucking dead.
Court TV's the big thing.
All right, here we
Fuck
are.
TV.
Here we are. Here we are at XM Satellite Radio. A little observation. I thought I'd have a few minutes to mellow out between shows, and I look in the studio. I see Pat Cooper's already here. I'm like, oh fuck.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
at 9:30. What the fuck you want me to do, pal? Are you sure you're Opie or is he Opie?
So what did you hang out outside?
I don't hang out outside. I'm a gentleman. I come fucking early. I come on time.
I mean this guy here.
Well, he's got to hang out somewhere. Who the fuck recognizes him? They look at you, they think you're a dirty Al Pacino.
I'll tell you what happened, Anthony. I got thrown in a van. I got kidnapped, but I was able to kick my way free.
Oh, good.
Around 80th Street, and I grabbed a cab, and I'm here on time.
I think you're lying.
What happened? A bit of a panic?
No.
I heard Kenny was in a bit of a panic. I snuck into a room to make a phone call, and Kenny thought I was lost. Kenny thought I got kidnapped.
Kenny thinks he's like a daddy figure, like a father figure.
No.
Yeah, he gets very nervous when you're out of his eye shot.
Yeah.
I walked in and I saw Pat sitting here, and it's been great because from the minute I sat down, we started chatting. He's just been motherfucking everybody.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
great.
Well, I haven't heard a nice word about anyone. Bob Goulet?
Well,
How do you
Robert
get into
Goulet-
bad mouth and Robert Goulet
No, I'm not
within
bad
the
mouth
first
Robert Goulet.
within the first 2 minutes of you sitting down?
You know what your problem is? You can't compute and listen to my greatness. You got to do one or the other.
Right.
I didn't put Robert Goulet down. I was talking about you got to buy the room in Las Vegas today.
Yeah.
And poor Robert Goulet bought it for 8 weeks, and he had to buy out the contract because of $1.1 million. Oof. That's what I'm saying. I felt bad. I said, Robert, no disrespect to you. Singing is over. It's fucking over. He swears you're better off a juggler. They don't want fucking singers no more.
Juggler.
I says comedy and juggling and masturbation and perverts are making big money. Today to sing Maravemina or sing Ave Maria, even the post turns it off. They don't want to hear
What
it.
about magicians? That's big, right?
Magicians are not big. They think
No?
they're big. They
I
think
thought they were big in, like,
No,
Vegas.
they're a delay.
Yeah,
Any
delay.
magician is a fucking delay. Like
what-
hypnotists.
Yeah.
This one guy hypnotized a guy up in Boston, my other God, and supposedly put him under. The guy falls off the chair. 6 weeks later, he woke up. What a lawsuit that was. It's a true story.
I know,
And
but
the
it's
guy
still
turned
funny.
around, he went back to butchering this fucking guy who's supposed to put you under. You know, don't put your mother under for having you.
Wait, so he didn't try out the formula before he went on stage?
Look,
so the
don't
guy was
answer my shit, will you, please?
He didn't try out the formula, though. You got
No, but I'm
to
talking
knock him
about
out just for a little
See,
bit.
This is
right?
what gets me.
All
This is
right.
what gets me.
Yeah, we'll get you, Pat.
I respect my profession.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you respect us.
No.
Naturally, I respect you, sick bastard. Anybody's got the balls to think you're doing good. It's really got to. I will tell you this.
Yeah.
I disrespect those who disrespect my profession. I'm not just a comic. I'm in a profession.
Mm-hmm.
Now, all the years that they've had the festival here, I was never called. Because it's called punkos who ain't got the balls to call me. I finally got a call about 3 weeks ago. Some guy said, I represent Caroline's. I said, that's your problem. He said, and we'd like to have you at Caroline's at the Festus. Let me tell you something. I'm a fucking name. I work theaters. I don't work fucking Caroline's. You understand, punk asshole, that you don't know? I said, Sarah Silverman goes on Saturday Night Live, Rosie O'Donnell. I said, I work theaters. Do your fucking homework, you asshole.
And you hung
Because
up?
what do you think you're talking? I'm talking to your mother through your ass.
So when are you playing Caroline?
No.
No.
There's another thing that bothers me. They call you up, they said, Pat, yes, I represent Caroline's, right? Well, we want you to work Monday and Tuesday, take the door. I said, I got furniture. If I want fucking furniture, I said, I don't need your fucking door. This is what I got to get. Get Mike Camario Cantone to go on a Monday and a fucking Tuesday. Get Joy Behar to go on a Monday and Tuesday. They jerk off. That's what they do on a Monday and Tuesday.
He knows all the big names in comedy there,
Where's
Jim.
it like that? Well, I'm sitting next to a guy who's terrific.
Yeah, you
That's
like
it.
Jim?
Thank you.
But
What about us?
I'm going to put a butt on it.
I know you are.
And I respect him, and I think he knows I mean that. The last 15 minutes of that home box was tough. to talk about a woman's private parts the way he did, I thought was too heavy. He don't have to do that because he's funny, he's natural, he's got a great way about him of saying, why go talking about a woman's clit? Who gives a shit?
I like
it's
that.
It's not funny. No, I understand.
I like a big clit, Pat.
I agree, but you know something? He's working to one particular audience, hopefully, that they will. And I'm saying, here's a guy that's, what the hell is he doing there? Why is he underneath the woman's ass, sucking at this and sucking at that? That's not funny.
It is.
What's funny is what he did. I said, this guy's wonderful. But why? And I like him, and I say to myself, this guy's, he's going to have to take it out one day, because it's going to hurt him. You don't need that, because you got women saying, wait a minute, is that what we're about? You talk about our vagina and our pussy like we're garbage dumps? And that's what it sounded like. I don't think he meant it that way. Norton, I don't think you meant it that way. And again, I care about, we're in a great business. I'm on my way out. I've been on my way out since I was 40.
On your way out? How
serious.
fucking far away is that door?
I'm on my way out.
Jesus.
I'm lucky I made this. This is the last.
Yeah, it's a long hallway out that door.
No, but you see, you're taking liberties, which is fine. If you feel comfortable, but fine. But I'm looking at it as a comedian. I'm saying to myself, Jesus Christ, you don't need that. This guy don't need that. I want him on a series. I said, that's what I'm hoping this guy gets. Get him on a series. That's the money today.
Nah, but my acting is not up to snuff.
Dateline NBC Predator series. That's
my acting is not up to
I
snuff.
saw you on that series. You were wonderful. What's
Thank
wrong
you.
with
Lucky Louie, yeah.
Look, but no. See, you were the only good thing on the show because you had brains enough to say, I can't act. See, that's the secret. Then they're going to get upset you to get your own series, because those who can't act get a fucking series. That's why the guys who have their series surround themselves with greatness.
Well, that's true. Do you think Seinfeld was a good actor?
Right.
No,
he was laughing all the time.
Jerry was smart. I respect Jerry because he surrounded himself.
Yeah.
I respect that I married Tyler Moore. They surrounded themselves. All in the family surrounded themselves.
Ray Romano wasn't a good actor.
Absolutely. Who?
Ray Romano's not a good actor.
Ray Romano's got trouble humming. But he's a nice man. He got the series. God bless him. I'm not jealous of him. Who gives a damn? I'm out. It's finished. I'm 78. It's all over. But at least we're in a profession. I want this gentleman to know, I care about you because you're good and you're wonderful but I'm saying, somebody maybe that doesn't like him, so keep doing it. And I'm saying, I think one day they're going to say to you, you got to cut that out, that thing, because it's vulgar. It's not funny anymore to get you to my tongue. I'm looking, then he's doing noises that don't fit. And I'm talking to the set, and my lady friends go, why is he talking about people's private parts? I said, shut up, will you please? The guy's a comedian. What the fuck do you expect him to talk about? Cucumbers?
But I do like that. It is the truth. Like, I do really like a big fucking stack of liverwurst.
I'm not saying you don't like your material. Don't
No, I mean pussy. I mean big pussy.
Do you like a? Basically, he's asking, do you like a swollen pussy like he does?
I like a fat
But
pussy.
you got to understand, the people that are listening to this are not in a comedic adult mode. I'm talking about, because I've been around a long time, and the only rap that people said to me about this guy was the exact thing I said. They said, why did he do that last 8-10 minutes? Because he don't need it. He's a funny man. And all of us said, and they could tell me my fucking business, and I would respect them. I don't tell them how to funny. I don't tell them how to drive. But when you care about a guy, you say, this guy's good. He don't need that shit. This guy's good.
You want Jimmy to go mainstream?
No, I didn't say that. Listen, you're not a comic. Do me a favor. Do your fucking radio. You're not in my fucking league. I love these guys. I don't do fucking radio. You stay out of my fucking business. I don't tell a butcher how to cut meat. Don't tell a guy how to masturbate. You understand?
I was just trying to follow you. I guess
you
I
can't
missed the
follow
lesson.
nobody. That's why you got this fucking show.
But I know what you mean though. But I don't mind getting that dirty. I'm comfortable being that dirty
for everybody.
because I don't feel like I have to close with it. But I like it. It's like if it's.
I'm not saying that to take it out.
Right.
I'm telling you, I guarantee you, somebody's going to tap you on the shoulder. So listen, you want to do here? Yeah, you got to cut that out. Otherwise, you're going to have a problem. So you cut it out. What's the big fucking thing? You only going to live on that piece of material? No, of course not. You got other great things. But just to go to motherfucker. Nobody's going to remember what you did except that piece of material.
You know what, though? He's killed on Letterman and Leno, and he's done clean stuff on there.
No, bullshit. He did not kill with that material on Letterman. He didn't talk about a pussy and eating a
Oh, no, that's what I mean. He's able to work, though,
that's what I'm saying. If he can go on Letterman.
What do you have against pussy?
I would rather him go on Letterman and Jay Leno's. I'm not knocking the man's talent. He's a talented guy, but I think that particular choice he don't fucking need because this guy can skyrocket. And I think somebody's going to knock on the door so you can't work. as we say, for argument's sake, the Hilton Hotel, that kind of a thing, or a certain high-class hotel, they'll say, look, you got to draw the fucking line.
So
and
Jimmy,
I think he's
let's
smart
ask
to
Jimmy.
say.
What do you think of his advice there?
I understand what he's saying.
This is me doing radio, by the way.
I do understand what Pat is saying. I don't agree 100% because when you look at guys that have gone, and again, it's all doing what you like doing.
I'm looking at you. Fuck those guys.
It's Kinnison succeeded very well doing what he wanted. Dice succeeded doing what he wanted. I don't model myself after those guys, but I think if you're doing what's true to you,
okay, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Okay, I never heard Richard Pryor, who to me was one of the best. I never heard Don Rickles, to me is one of the best. I never heard none of these guys turn around and get raunchy. You could talk about a woman's body part. The minute you say the hair was coming out and the clit was hanging down, I turned around and I got a heart off. I said to my girl, I can't look at your pussy no more. You're fucking ugly. She says, why? He's on television. He must be right. So that's the end of it. Yeah, now I'm going at the transvestites. That's my show.
Hey, well, that we can agree on. It's just a difference in a take on a particular
It's not
subject.
a knock to you.
No, I don't think it's a knock.
I dig you. I think you're terrific, and I think you're going to go wherever you want to go.
Thank
I'm
you.
not being
Pat's
funny.
telling you to become a prop comic.
No, you're
what he's telling.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
You don't know fucking comedy. What are you explaining to this guy? This guy's a comedian. He's been on these shows
I'm
already.
trying to learn
We're
through
trying to learn
Jimmy.
about comedy.
You're
Pat.
learning days are off. You start to learn, you're going to be out of this fucking show. I'm telling
You
you.
can't learn.
Anyway, that's that's enough there. But we're in a great profession.
So you're taking advice from a guy wearing a members only jacket. So that's good.
I do respect Pat's opinion very much.
And do you respect his jacket?
Yes, I do.
I would scream to the top of my lungs to say this is a wonderful young man.
He
I think he's
absolutely
got
is.
a
We
shot.
love him.
I said, it's nice to see that in young people. But when I saw that, and I'm not a prude, I've done it all, I've seen it all. But I said, there were great comics who never got that way. Are we getting down to that? Next we talk about my mother's pussy, and then my father's cock. And then it becomes, something.
What about
we
Grandpa?
don't separate, no. Then they're going to talk about the Pope. Now, he messed up. Then we're going to talk about subject matter that should be left alone. We don't need to get a life. I'll give you an instant. I'm on Stern the other day, right? So Stern says, you three guys roast Pat. So I said to them, under one condition they could roast me, throw the paper away. So they looked at me. One guy says, I throw the paper away. And he threw it away. He goes, by the way, who's that cunt you're sitting next to? When I stopped, I said, let me tell you, that's funny. And Stern says, get out of here.
To you?
No, not me. Nobody says get out of here.
Not me.
I'm a fucking genius of myself. Nobody tells me. They'll throw him out off the fucking air before I go. But I tried to explain to the guy after the show was over. I said, you're so stupid. You went desperate, you panicked. You said, what has my girlfriend's got to do with trying to roast somebody? Jerry Stiller was roasted, a wonderful man. One comic, his asshole, goes after Jerry Stiller's wife's vagina. What the fuck has that got to do with a roast? Because they panic. They think, motherfucker, and if you say the curse words and there's a story, it blends. I got a flow. I can say fuck 90 million, nobody gets offended. There's a certain flow. There are people who say it, they go, oh, geez, don't say that word. That's the difference. That's the difference.
But, and you're right, we all judge our own flow a certain way. Like, I know what I do that's true to my thinking. Like, that guy probably did panic. To blast someone's girlfriend and call her a cunt is
For
stupid.
no reason at all.
But to
Unless
be
you're
vulgar,
talking to Paul McCartney.
well, yeah, exactly. A one-legged one at that. But to blast somebody, the woman just for being there is panic move. But to be vulgar because that's what you want to do is different.
No, I agree with you there. But the guy turns around, and all he had to do, he didn't have to force himself to try to be funny, take it out on someone that was not being roasted.
Right.
You're roasting me. Don't roast that guy over there. I can do it because I am going to be roasted. I can turn around and say, go after his remarks and say what this man says to me is what Pat does this. Now I'm going to turn to myself, oh, really? When I get up, I'll say this. That's a roast. But when I go into the audience who has nothing to do with it, the only thing I ever did, that they still talk about it. What's her name was in one of the rows there? The girl that was ran away with a gun with the.
Patty Hearst.
Patty Hearst.
And she's sitting in the front row, and I go, honey, Pat, so nice to see you. We know you did it.
Yeah.
And there was and the fucking place rocked.
Yeah, of course. You gotta laugh at
Then
that.
it backed away.
But that's a celebrity being in the audience. That's a famous person. That's fair game. I mean, they're showing up in a roast.
I agree,
That's fair game.
But I generally don't like to go in to the audience. I like to see it up here. And I tell people the secret of a roast is pay attention what you can't say. And they go, what do you mean? I said, they're going to say this about that one, this about that one. You know you can't say it. What? What if you ain't got enough? Go after somebody else on that fucking dais. But just keep going. So they want 5, 6, 7 minutes. If you can't hold 5, 6, 7 minutes, and I seen Milton Berle, and I've done it with the biggest, get up and tell this particular comic, stop. You didn't do your homework. What gives you the fucking right?
Nice.
He said, what gives you the fucking right to stand up with great talent? Now sit down and shut up. The guy was never on a roast again. And I told him, I try to tell you, stay the fuck off. You got trouble whispering. You got trouble spitting. You don't know what the fuck you're doing. I want to be on a roast. I want to be on a roast, all right? Roast the chicken, you stupid fuck.
Who is the comic?
I don't want to tell you. None of your business.
Who is the comic that yelled at you on Howard's show?
Huh?
Who is the...
Oh, no, I don't know. There was 3 young guys. Nice guys. I didn't put the guy down. I wasn't mad at him. But my lady said you got to forgive him because he panicked and he didn't know. And,
Right.
And I tell you, Gary Delabate said, he grabbed him. He said, let me tell you something. You see why this man's great? He knows when to sweat. And he said, he didn't mean it. I said, the man didn't mean it because he didn't know what the fuck to do. I said, now, if you're going to be in a state of panic, don't go in that hallway. You don't belong. Don't go on a dais if you don't belong. He gets up there, says, I belong, fine. Now you're going to have to put your fucking nickels down. And we've had some great stars who had trouble.
You know, there's a lot of pressure for you guys now.
Absolutely.
Because Pat, what Pat is talking about, he's being roasted on Friday at the Friars Club. We're all invited. And I get to just sit there. And Jimmy will actually be roasting Pat Cooper, one of the many guys roasting you.
Get Pat some
I'll
water.
ask my friend for some water.
This is
That's
unopened. It's unopened. Unopened.
That's it could be open.
No,
Anyone that eats pussy, I like to drink with.
Who do you think is...
See? Hey, that's ad-libbing. That's using your comedic fucking mind. That's when it comes natural.
Right.
That's why when a young shit-ass 30-year-old tells me you're going to go into Caroline's, I should first of all go to fucking school and learn your craft. You don't go to a butcher and grab the knife and I'm a fucking butcher. Go to school and find out who Pat Cooper is. Don't ask me for a tape, you sick fuck. I said, I want to tape of you. What do you want to tape of me for? I want to know what the fuck you do, you scumbag. I said, how dare you work for Caroline's? And he hung up on me. Now, Caroline, I know nothing against Caroline. Caroline doesn't even know comedy. Caroline is an producer of comedy. She stays home and hopes she gets laughed and give a fucking laugh. Don't matter. We're under the hammer every fucking time we go out. I'm 78. How many fucking hammers hit me over the head? So there you go. But I respect my fellow comedian. And I'm not looking to say I hope he fucking bombs. I come on, so listen to me. You want to do so? Take that out, maybe put that in. It might help you. I don't know.
Who do you think's a great roaster over the years? Who's really good up there?
A great roasters was the guys like
Rickles?
you know something? No.
Don Rickles, no?
When you say great roaster, because Don Rickles, and I told this to Don, in fact, it was roast. We were doing Bob Newhart, and he was the one emceeing the show. And it didn't happen. Mm-hmm. You understand? It just because he can't say the Mexican over there, the guy over there. I said, when the fuck do you talk about the dais?
Yeah.
So, but he decided, well, I'm not the guy. You all got to do it. So we all roasted Bob Newhart. I tell you, guys like Burr were one of the greatest ones. I did a Dean Martin roast, not the ones on
Dean
television.
Martin had to be one of the best.
No, but not on... No, I never did his television show. I'm talking... Was Dean Martin, Sinatra, Tommy Lasorda? I'm talking heavyweights when no girls were allowed. And what's her name? The comedian there. She's about 90 years old, but I don't know.
Phyllis Diller?
Oh,
right?
yeah.
She came in dressed as a man. It's a true story.
That's funny, though, man.
No,
God bless
I think
her.
it was great.
All right, good.
But they nailed her. And they had to leave her out there. Now you're talking about
shit.
stalkers. You're talking about the guy that lived to be 90 years old, Gracie Allen and
George Burns.
I mean, you're talking
Yeah.
about Fat Jackie Lindy. You're talking about Henny Youngman. This is not pointing at him to be those kind. But this is where my expertise came from watching these fucking guys on the roast. I mean, they had writers.
I'm with you because the Dean Martin roast that they show on TV all the time, and you can get the DVDs. They're just amazing, and I see a lot of these roasts on Comedy Central. And some of the guys they're really good at, but a lot of them are like,
But
they got to learn from the.
Did you know that Dean Martin roast? A lot of them were never in the same room.
What do you mean?
Really?
Now I'm going to teach you something.
I love when you teach us
Did
something.
you know
school.
that Don Rickles
When he's roasting,
was told to come down to the studio? and they had pictures of James Stewart, pictures of Johnny Carson, and they just framed that.
Get the fuck out of here. So they have a close-up of just Don Rickles. So
not only Don Rickles, a lot of them, then they would turn around and try to get them all one day and just take that one, maybe 30 seconds and show them. But a lot of them did it.
Holy shit, are you kidding me? So they have a close-up. I know you're not kidding me. It's just an expression. Relax. Don't jump down my throat. We're having a conversation here.
I'm worried about his throat.
No, I want to follow you here. So they got a close-up, but those guys aren't even on
all the time. But what they did is
with some of these guys.
Let's assume say Don, I can't make it. So now they got Bob Hope there, so they inserted Don into that whole
into the set.
Right. So, but a lot of people didn't know that.
No clue until today.
In fact, his producer even said it when they were interviewing him. That's tough. That's tough. So this is what but they can edit everything and make it look.
So what are you trying to say with that? It's easier to do what they were doing in the old days because the people they were roasting weren't there?
Well, let me put it this way: if you fuck up, they do it again.
I got you.
Hello. So a guy says, well, geez, I don't like what I said. But erase that. Try again.
Because it takes a certain amount of balls to actually, beat up these guys right in front of their face. So it would probably be easier if you're alone on set by yourself and they're going to throw in the laugh tracks and the long shots of everyone laughing on the dais. It seems like it would be easier to beat someone up, right?
The Friars roast is the true roast. And particularly now with youngsters coming along, who should look at the old roast and see what it's all... Because a lot of them buy material, which is nothing wrong with that. We got guys in the roast that go, I'll give you 3 lines, give me $1,000. I says, I'll tell you, I'll give you 19 for nothing, you asshole. I don't need none of them. But guys need it. So what happens is, they turn around and they write something. Guy gives them the $1,000 or $500. I'm not against these writers getting paid. Never works. Because the writer doesn't know what's inside. This gentleman knows what's inside him.
Yeah, Jimmy doesn't use writers.
No, but he knows what's inside him. He knows where I can swim and where I can't swim. A lot of them go, I can do that. I said, no. So in other words, if somebody gives you a knife, you can open a head.
So
Right?
I have a feeling you're going to be cracking some skulls on Friday.
No way.
You're going to jump up and beat some of these comedians up.
No, if they can't take it, get the fuck off. That's
a lot of pressure for these guys.
It's no pressure.
No pressure.
It's no pressure because they accept it. They accept it. And the worst thing to do is, one second, don't rehearse it. You can't rehearse a fucking roast. They're in front of the mirror. I know what time I'm about. I'm going to tell you what Paco is a motherfucking cocksucker.
The worst part of a roast is when the audience gets uncomfortable with the comedians brutalizing each other. They get uncomfortable with what we're comfortable with, which is shitting on each other. And the MC has to kind of let them know it's okay, we're comfortable with this, and no one's getting their feelings hurt.
Nothing's worse than watching a comic get up there though, and the first couple of jokes they throw out just bomb, and you sit there and go, oh boy, now he's in trouble.
What if you tell the comic before he goes on? You say, look, come here, just in case, because I know the guy ain't gonna make it. I fucking know he ain't gonna make it. Just in case, you get up there. And you go da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Say, it's been a pleasure. Get the fuck off. All right? Now I'm going to tip you off. Paul Schaefer. Remember Paul Schaefer?
Yep.
Paul Schaefer from the Letterman Show?
Sure.
All right? We're roasting Jerry Lewis last year. This guy comes in, they have a piano for him. This guy's as funny as fucking cancer. You understand? I'm so fucking insulted that this fucking guy had the balls to come on a fucking roasting Jerry Lewis, and he starts to try to tell a story. He was on 20 fucking minutes, and he's playing minutes. I love Jerry loves me. And I'm saying, when the fuck does he get off? I go on after him. Because I'm last, okay?
Oh, shit.
Wait a minute. My opening line is, I want to thank you, Paul, for giving Jerry Lewis a chance to go to sleep. You fucking asshole. How dare you? Do I go in your fucking band and play? I stay out of that. That's what I'm trying to say.
You got to blame the Friars Club, though.
No.
Why would they have a guy like that in their fine
Friars
establishment?
Club thinks he's
a celebrity, like he's got a
brains.
thing.
No.
They really think he could have pulled it off.
Well, they don't want to insult the guy.
No way. Tell him no. Like, you should be the president, whatever they need over there.
Let me tell you something.
Oh, boy.
It's a lot of politics involved also. We all know that.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea is there's no more guys of my age anymore. So these young guys are coming along who are great, and it's good for them to get up there and say, I got fucking balls. And, if you don't kill, but you survive, well, that's okay, too. Mentally, you go home and you say, something, that's with the big guys.
Right.
That really is the big guy. But to see Paul Schaefer, I said, get the fuck out of fuck. It's like me going into his fucking band and saying, give me a kazoo. Because I think I can play
along.
And you know something? That's an insult because he didn't care about the fucking people who spend $10,000 fucking tables. And this guy comes up. That's why you got a puppet.
How's your blood pressure, Pat?
I have none. I died maybe.
Hey, is Jerry Lewis going to be there at your roast?
I don't. Jerry Lewis was taking cat naps. Not when I was on, because he wouldn't dare. See, Jerry Lewis wouldn't dare because I fucking glob him.
What's that about, though? Why would you sleep during your own roast?
Because he's not well.
Oh.
And if you remember, he had a mild heart attack going back to Vegas. Jerry's not well. Jerry, in my opinion, is probably one of the geniuses of our business. And Jerry is 80-some-odd years old, has contributed so much. That kind of comedy is over. My comedy, I'm laughing because I'm getting involved with controversy and stuff. But, you know.
You're talking about pussy more.
But you got to know when to quit. You got to know.
Yeah, that's got to be a hard thing, though.
That's the sad part.
Just leave, walk away. That's got to be hard.
They say to me, I got a job for you in Utah. I said, listen to me. I love Utah. Me and the Mormons don't understand each other. I ain't going. That's the end of it. I don't go on a stage where I know I don't have a chance. It's ridiculous.
Do you accept any gigs?
Huh?
You got the guy from Carolina, you tell him to go fuck himself.
He says no a lot.
Utah tells him, no, I'm not going there.
Because the guy that's booking Caroline's or the girl don't do their homework. They say, what does Pat Cooper do? I said, tell him I clean fish. What the fuck do I do? You sick fuck. What do you do? How dare you insult me? First of all, how about manners for an adult? How about a young punk saying, Mr. Cooper, you know, but don't tell me what do you do, you little asshole. Go to school and learn about comedy. Who's Milton Berle? Who's Groucho Marx? Who's all these guys? And learn why they became successful. Don't sit there and say, I'm booking acts now. Book your mother. Book your mother, you sick fuck.
Out of the young guys, who do you like? It seems like you're...
But I saw a mob the other day.
Well, give us a few names. Like, who do you like out there, Pat?
Listen to me.
You're like a legend.
You're not the district attorney. Come on.
I'll turn your fucking
Let me
mic
explain
off.
something. I go past
I'll
Caroline's
turn
the
your
other
mic
day.
off.
District attorney.
I go past Caroline's the other day.
You need me, because I can just do
I
that.
don't need shit. You know what I do for a hobby? I rehearse dying. How's that fucking grab you? So, let me tell you something.
Yeah, go ahead.
I went past Caroline's the other day.
All right.
There was about, had to be 100 comics there. Trying out
For what?
to get into the festival.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay.
The big New York Comedy Festival.
Now, I must tell you this. Every one of them looked the same. There was not one guy looked neat and clean with a fucking jacket and a fucking tie. I says, this is the same picture. They're all coming in to do 2 minutes. The only guy I understand went with a fucking thing was a guy with an Indian cap on. He got 2 minutes. But as far as the young guys, I know this gentleman. When I met him, we did Colin Quinn's show, and we have great shows at Colin Quinn.
Sure.
But I don't get a chance to see, like Sarah Silverman. She's probably great. I never saw her. You know, I never saw a lot of the guys on Saturday night because most of the times I'm working, and then I forget about it.
You know, you do bring up a good point because I do see a lot of comedy, and you see a lot of young comedians that are like playing the role of a comic. You know what I mean? They got the look, they got the lines, they're very rehearsed, but it's like, I think you got to be true to yourself.
You know who's overrated?
Who?
Lou Black.
Lewis?
I think he's overrated. I don't think he's funny.
I say young guys.
That's my opinion. That's my opinion. I saw him on a couple of specials. I'm saying, Jesus Christ. I said, I don't know. To me, he's not funny. This guy's funny. No, I'm not. I don't dislike Louis. If he likes what I don't like what I say, fuck him. I'm not worried about it. I want him to understand. Not everybody likes me. Not everybody likes everybody.
So what's your advice to the young comedians?
Quit.
To be true to yourself, though? Or, you know what I mean? Like, you could see the difference. We have a lot of comedians that come in here, okay? We know the guys that are actually naturally funny, and some of them have a funny act. There's a big difference. And then some of these guys...
It's called mechanics.
Mechanics? Okay, I don't know the terminology.
Nothing wrong with that.
So what would you say to young comedians? What not to do?
Do your homework.
In what way?
Don't worry about, and he'll know it because he's been in that era. Don't worry about, I don't go on first anymore, I'm second hole or third hole. I said, how about honing your craft? The fuck you worried about if you go on first, second, or third? You're a baby. You're a small little kid yet. You're learning. Fuck when you go on second or third. Let the guy who wants to go on third, let him worry about it. You learn, because automatically they'll say, come here, you. You're going on close. You're a fucking strong guy. But they're all fighting. Or when I hear a comic go, I'm funnier than him. How the fuck he's on television? Guys, it's because you're stupid. You're worried about who's funnier than me and funnier than me. That's me while you're cleaning spittoons, you asshole. Do your homework. Learn out there. If this young man can teach you something, go. This is a great business, but we're in a dangerous business. Comedy is the toughest fucking thing in show business. Even opera, which is supposed to be tough, don't come near comedy, because we got to get laughs every couple of seconds. When you start to see a guy get laughed every 5 minutes, trains are going fucking by. You understand? This is what's happening. Comedy has changed. Music has changed. I pass the hat on to these young guys, and we're wonderful. Don't put nobody down, but I can smell when a guy... My dentist.
Right.
Will you do me a fucking favor? Drill the fucking key. Will you drill the fucking... No, I got to tell you a story. You tell me one more fucking story. I'm going to tell you right now. I don't want to hear about it. Hey, Pat, let me tell you. I'm going to start to do stairs. Sit down. Or I go someplace else. I don't want to fucking hear about you. You got no fucking talent.
Hey, Pat, I got to ask you, where do you get your balls from? Be serious for a moment. Where do you get these big fucking balls from? Like, I'll tell you why I respect you. You're one of the only guys that didn't kiss Howard's ass, and you were still able to come back many, many times. And that was so refreshing to hear.
But I come in here with respect. I don't dislike you two guys.
No, I don't think that at all.
I like him.
No, and I'm not even... it's not... All I'm saying is, like...
I got it since I'm a kid.
You're not worried about how you're going to be...
No.
Perceived. I love that in you.
Listen to me.
But where does it come from?
Listen to me. When you can tell your mother and father, cut the shit... Don't you dare do that to me. I'm a fucking human being.
Right.
Why should I worry about saying about other people? Why should I say, hey, who the fuck are you?
Yeah, but it's rare. You don't see a lot of guys like you.
No, honesty,
you take on everybody and you're like, you know what? If this fucks my career, who gives a shit?
Honesty is a curse. You can't be honest because they don't want to hear it. Woman says, tell me the truth, Pat. Am I heavy? You're fat. You're not fucking heavy. Will you do me a favor? Stop swallowing. How the fuck can you stay skinny if you turn around and don't shit? You must shit. You must go on and pee. When you pee, you are the luckiest person. I know guys, multimillionaire, Pat, I'll give $1 million if I can pee. Give it to me. Mm-hmm. They don't understand what's the value.
So you've always been like this?
Listen to me. I've been asked to leave school. Not because I'm disrespectful. When a teacher would say, well, this, I said, no, I can't do that. You're going to do it. I said I can't do it. Are you fucking stupid? I can't do it. Next, out the fucking door.
Did you get in line?
Now, they thought my father took me to the doctor, and they put a stethoscope on my head. Because they thought I was fucking nuts. Because nobody in an Italian family ever spoke out of turn. My father threw you through the fucking window. My mother beat up Marciano. My mother hit you, jab you. My mother breaks skin. So when you turn around and you say you're not going to do that to me no more, and if you do, I'll fucking wreck all he is, then they back away. They say, his kids, they don't say he may have a point. We're burying this fucking guy. No, they look at his order. He's a retard. He has some retardation. I said, spell the fucking thing. Can you spell retard? So what the fuck you telling? You lay your bricks, lay your fucking bricks. I was a bricklayer for 12 fucking years. The world's fucking worst. An Irish guy on my right, an Irish guy on my left. I got a trial about 6 feet long. I buried the two of them in 1 hour. They quit. I hit them with more fucking cement. There were 2 Irish statues there. And I lost the fucking job. The guy says, my father said, can you pay attention? I don't like to lay fucking bricks.
Did you get in a lot of fights?
I never raised my hand to anybody intentionally.
Wow.
I defended.
I would just think a few people get in your face, though.
Well, I won't mention names. One guy at the Friars came toward me.
Henny Youngman.
And I said to him, so a buddy of mine went in front of him.
That's pretty funny.
I says, you lay your hands on me, I'll fucking own you. You don't hit me. Nobody hits me. You got a problem with me? We sit down, and if I'm wrong, I'll climb a mountain to tell you I'm sorry. But don't you fucking bully me with your full fistcuffs. And any guy that ever want to bully me beats up their wife. Anyone beats up their wife, that's a bully. Trust what I tell you. So when you get these guys go, you don't like your attitude. A lot of neck movement. Fuck your neck and fuck your attitude. I sat with some of the greatest gangsters in the fucking world, man. Sitting with John Gotti, sitting with Sam Gravano. And I went in there and says, John, you ever fuck with me again, this is over. You hear? Now sit down. Sam Gravano's going, who are you? None of your fucking business who I am. John knew it was a joke. They knew it. Because when John asked me to do his daughter's wedding, I did it. Not because he forced me. It was my plan. So when you kid a guy, I know when to stop. Oh, I know the fucking line.
You're better.
I know the
Jesus
fucking
Christ,
line.
you're better.
Yes.
But I haven't found the line yet. And no one's ever, once in a while, guys say, I'm going to beat you, I'm going to put that. I said, listen to me. By the time you put my tongue through my ass and my tongue on my nose, it'll already be out of fucking breath, you stupid bastard. Just sit down and discuss what's wrong. You're a fucking asshole, and that's the end of it. You think, who the fuck you are? I say, ain't nobody. This gentleman here sees me on the street. Your dad a couple of weeks ago. I see him, happy to see him. How you doing? I respect him. I respect them. I respect you two guys. Whatever you did in the past, I laugh. I say, it's balls. That's great. How do you get attention? You do something, you go against the grain. So I've been going against the grain all my life. Why the fuck are they roasting me? I'm no big name. They got bigger names.
No, it's going to be a great roast.
But
it's because you're a great roaster, and you'll go up at the end and just shit on everybody, and it'll be funny. A lot of times they roast people who aren't funny, so when they go up at the end and they have to roast everybody back, they suck. So they want to roast a comedian who can roast, because at the end you're going to go up and fucking blast everybody, and that's the way to close the show.
And another thing, I say, I'm 78 years old. They say, Pat, can you get up at 4 in the morning and do this show? I get up. Because to me, that's important. You never know who's listening on the other side. You never say, well, he's not a big radio guy. Or he's not a small. You do it. I tell some guys, I got to get up. It says, geez, the guy wants me there at 3:30. Get up. Who the fuck are you? The guy's asking you to do his radio show. Well, if it was Larry King. Larry King, I understand.
You want to do the Than and Sam show?
Who? I'll do anybody's show. Why not? Hey, listen to me. Why not? I did Judith Reagan yesterday. I tell you, I'm still doing it. I don't do Letterman no more because Letterman doesn't like me. Because Letterman, when I said to Letterman, he says, "What do you do for a hobby?" I said, "I rehearse dying," and I kept telling him, "It's for pleasure to die." He didn't know how to fucking handle it. He didn't know how to handle it, and I said, "This is my last." I was there 3 times. This is the last. But that's okay. I'm not angry at Letterman. God bless him. He did great. He's there for 25 fucking years. Now Leno's sweating. He's there 14 years. They may push him for Conan O'Brien. Who gives a fuck?
They are pushing him for Conan O'Brien, but Leno's like, fuck that, and he's already looking to go somewhere else. He doesn't want to leave. It's turning out.
If they turn around and let Leno go, how do you turn around and you let a guy that's batting 500? Give me a fucking break. I mean, that's terrible.
They're going to push him out.
Conan O'Brien is not... There may be 11:30 till 12:30. He may not be that. There's nothing wrong with him. He may not be that. But somebody says, I think that's the future. How about fucking today? And don't worry about who you're going to fuck 10 years from now. You may not get a hard on. They don't understand that. So you're dealing with guys who are in business trying to make a great movement. So we push Leno out.
And he's number one in that time slot. That's what's fucked up about it.
Listen, before Leno goes...
So what does Leno do?
Well, Leno doesn't want to leave that. Leno would rather sleep in that chair. And Leno has proved that. He don't take a day off. He doesn't... And Still
does his gigs on weekends?
Absolutely.
He's insane.
So he's a guy that's a winner. What the fuck? If it ain't broke, why are you trying to fix it? So you want to push Conan O'Brien in. Nothing against Conan O'Brien. He's not already guaranteed he's going to do exactly what Leno did. In my personal opinion, before Leno, I thought Letterman should have been the guy. But that's only my opinion. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Letterman proved me wrong, and meanwhile, Letterman proved me right also. He's excellent. So what the fuck you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
What happened? I lost you there.
You lost a lot.
Both excellent. All right, we're gonna take a break. Pat Cooper, we got the big roast.
Whenever you want me to go, let me know.
Stay.
I'm serious.
Stay.
Sit down.
What time you off the air?
At 11.
You're doing that long?
Yeah.
Should cut it down to 10:30.
Tell us about it.
Well, Pat said we have to go home at 10:30. We're going home at 10:30 today. We're doing
it down to 10 like human.
Are you going to the roast?
Yeah, we're going to be on the dais. We're not allowed to talk because we're not comedians, like you said. So we'll sit there and watch.
Listen, don't get in stuff. I don't recognize you. Then I'm brushing. It's just that I got a bad fucking memory sometimes.
Pat, let me tell you something, though. Aunt and I don't go out much, so this is a big thing for us. We usually say no to everything.
Because you're on 4 o'clock in the fucking morning.
That's one of them, but we usually don't go to these things.
Why don't you do one show? Why do you have to do 2 fucking shows?
Because we're like Jay Leno. We're stupid.
You're not like Jay Leno. You're not selfish. You're not compared to Jay Leno. You're in your own boat.
No, we don't want to put all our eggs in one basket with this business.
I think it's
got a
wonderful.
Company merging. You got company that you can't say the N-word anymore. You can't do this. You can't do that.
Well, that's another thing.
So we don't know where our careers are going. There's a merger going on. Mel Karma's a big Howard fan, not a big fan of ours because what we did to Howard, so we don't know if we're going to be part of the merger.
You did nothing.
Thank you, Pat. Exactly.
I told him.
Why don't you go tell Mel that?
Yeah. You know what I
told Howard that.
You know what I told him? I'll tell you what I told Howard.
And what's up with the dentures with
Howard? I said, Howard, you want to know the truth? You made them bigger. You didn't hurt them.
Well,
Because when they're screaming, he's screaming at
Yeah.
you. He elevated you guys. That's why Opie and Nancy. Why is they fight? Sometimes
Pat,
a great fight like that makes you bigger.
Let me tell you something. I'm going to say something here. Like, I tried to get a little serious moment out of you, but I couldn't.
All right, go ahead.
I couldn't accomplish about it. But I will tell you this. Howard Stern played right into our fucking hands.
Okay.
Right into our fucking hands. We were the small guys in New York, and we're like, how do you get attention? You go after the big dog,
Right.
and you can't be scared to go after the big dog. You can't go after the big dog and in a pussy way. You got to go right at him.
But
and
why
we
do
did.
you say that about me? Then you know I'm right.
You're
I am what I am.
absolutely right. You just said something that made me think of something.
Okay.
I'm giving you props. That's exactly. I will give Howard props for making us bigger, but he was stupid to play right into our hands. That's exactly what we were going for.
I said,
We knew we had the talent, but we also knew we needed to get attention out
Right.
there, like you said.
Right.
And that's what we did. We're like, Howard, in his backyard, we go after him. And we did.
Well,
And he played into it.
you know the old story.
Because he couldn't take it, and we're like, well, as he's not taking it, he's making us bigger.
Well, don't you know the old story? When you go after the big guy, you get attention. You can't go after the guy that nobody knows about.
Exactly.
That's the way it is. But you know
Exactly.
something? It's helped both of you.
Of course.
So what's the big deal? Because I said, Howard, we're not going to be here forever. So if they're the new guys, that's the next plateau. Who gives a fuck?
Right.
I mean, I'm finished. He's the next generation.
If he stops talking about big pussy lips, though.
I didn't mean that to hurt his feelings.
I'm not hurt.
Because he doesn't look like he has any feelings.
Pat's an old school guy. We have a different take on certain things. No, my feelings are not hurt. No.
All right, listen, we're going to take a break.
I'm happy he liked the rest of the special. I'm actually impressed that
Dude,
Pat enjoyed some
honestly,
of it.
his
That makes me
They're
very
supposed to play
happy.
it again. They're supposed to play it again. Eh?
They will.
Give him a DVD. Oh, I don't have mine today. I would hand you mine. I would get another copy.
Yeah.
Give Pat Cooper your DVD, Jimmy.
I don't think he wants it. He's a busy man.
He's watched your whole special. He sat down and watched it.
He was just too tired to
It
get
was
up.
only one play.
Are you selling that out where you work?
Not yet. The DVD deal they gave
That's
me is
another
not that
dangerous
good.
area.
What?
Selling where you are.
What?
Because you're asking the audience who say pay $50 to see you, then you want to say $20 for your album as they're walking out the door. Now you're asking the people to pay $70 to see you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it looks amateur night when you're standing there, like the Smothers Brothers. They sell wine, they sell yo-yos. I says, you know, well, I don't know what you sell pussy next, for Christ's sake.
You've never seen a...
Fuck is this, a fucking... What's this, a mall?
You've never seen a bigger amateur. I fucking stand there and whore anything. I'll fucking park your car if you want to pay me.
That's all right. Nothing wrong with that.
But Jimmy gives the personal touch. We give the personal touch. I think that's important when you have a
I
fan
think
base.
it's very important.
I'm serious.
But I don't like to go out in the fucking lobby and stand there and start saying, hey, pay my fucking
Yeah.
You want my album? You want my shit? Go on the fucking computer and get it. If you don't, who the fuck cares? Because I'm not into that. I got to sell. I seen guys sell out, tell you everything. I seen a guy come off the show sweating like a bastard, running in the lobby so the people don't run out there.
Like a carnival
I
barker.
got him with me screaming at people as they walk out, buy something.
Okay, now, then you gotta worry. Listen to me. Here's the old trick. If you buy, say, 50,000 of your albums.
Yeah.
Okay, that's registered that you bought 50,000 of your albums. Now you claim you only sold 10,000 albums. The government says, where's the other 40?
They're coming
So
after
you
those
gotta-
guys, right?
What? The guy in Brooklyn bought 10,000 boxes, the pizza boxes. And he said he only sold 3,000.
Is this true?
They said, where's the other fucking boxes?
Is that really true?
They're counting the
Oh,
boxes.
shit.
That's a good way to get
what I'm
them.
saying. No, you got to be careful.
Oh,
you got to be
shit,
careful,
man.
right? He said, what to talk? I'm making 3,000 a piece.
Right.
He said, how come you bought 10,000 boxes?
Oh, shit.
He says,
Really?
"Well,
That's funny.
that's
That's come down to
He
that?
started
That is
talking
funny.
Italian. He started talking Italian.
Yeah, we understand.
Oh, that is funny.
Because there's a bill of lading. Pat Cooper bought 10,000 of his albums. If he sold 5,000, that's all I saw. Where? Now you show in the closet. There's the other
You
5,000.
better show them the other 5,000.
They got you by the fucking balls.
No kidding. All right, listen, we got to take a break. We want you to take on
that's
Imus
good.
after the break. I'm sure you got something on that.
Fuck him.
Fuck Imus, really?
Fuck him again.
All right, we'll talk about
Fuck him
that.
again.
All right, we'll talk.
Fuck him again.
All right, we'll talk about it
He's
after the
not
break.
a nice man. Fuck him again.
All right, we need a
5
we need-
fuckings.
Yeah, we need a tease. Pat Cooper's got something to say
You're
about
a
Imus.
fucking nerd.
All right, we'll talk about that. What are we promoting, by the way, as we go to break?
We promoting something?
Friars roast on Friday, but we don't have to promote
I think
that.
that's sold out, actually.
Any gigs, anything, Pat? What do you got?
Any gigs?
Barbecue sauce you're selling? What do you got?
I don't hear.
Are you doing any gigs? Any gigs coming up?
Yeah, put the headphones back on.
I don't know.
Nothing.
You don't have to.
I don't want to plug nothing.
He's just hanging out.
Wow, geez.
I really don't know
It's got the roast Friday.
You must really like us then.
Nah, I don't give a fuck.
We got some audio from the Tonight Show appearance.
Opie and Anthony.
It's great.
They're like the hottest guys on radio.
Wow, that's really nice.
Really nice. Opie and Anthony show on XM satellite radio.
It starts with an O&A plug before headlines.
Opie and Anthony show on XM radio.
Very nice.
Test tested. Leno approved.
He plugged us like 3 times last night on the show.
The Opie and Anthony Show.
The hottest show there is. Hottest show there is.
Sent albums to the prison. Why?
Welcome. It's 10:09. Imus in the Morning program. We have Pat Cooper in this studio, and apparently Pat Cooper tells me to go fuck myself.
You notice how dead it became when he starts to talk.
Wow, he just set you up bad. Pat Cooper in studio. They're roasting him. The Friars is roasting him on Friday. And like I said, we don't do many of these public things, and we're doing this one because we think you're terrific, Pat.
Thank you.
And now we can get back to beating the shit out of each other, right?
No, I wouldn't beat the shit out of you. You know something?
Then what do you call what you just did for the last hour?
You're allowing not everybody to do what I do. Because I've heard you many times, a lot of things did not come off who try to do what I do. I can't do what this gentleman does, so I don't do it.
Good, you won't catch any diseases.
Yeah. Well, listen.
Yeah, he takes a log on his chest every once in a while. You know.
Listen, he's on his way. I'm telling you that.
We all know that.
And if he's not on his way, then I don't know comedy.
We all know that.
And to respect the man is to go over and give him a hug and say, listen, just be careful, that's all. You're on, you got a shot, a fucking great shot, and it's nice to see that. You know what I mean? He's not a wise ass, he's not a come on to, he's always nice friend. When we did the Colin, when we did some ad-lib shit, that was hilarious, and he will tell you that. I mean, Colin,
Colin, it doesn't matter anymore.
Colin's more appropriate. That really doesn't matter.
We did some great shows together.
He would even say it doesn't matter anymore. It just...
So anyway,
what's your problem with Imus? That seemed a little real before the break.
Listen to me. The man don't tell the truth, number one. The man's a coward, number two. Number three, what he said worse than that. And worse than that crap. Stern has said worse than that. But he cowed down with his tail between his legs, and he went over to Hal Sharpton, and he said, I'm Tommy. And that other asshole who's a producer, McGurk, who likes to hit people, by the way. He thinks he beat up the sports guy that used to be on the show. They had like a legitimate fist fight.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Sid?
See, you're in a coma. You got to wake up.
No. I'll tell you.
You're in a coma.
No, he's had many different sports guys there, Pat.
No, but
I'm going to defend myself.
The one guy that was there for quite,
Sid, okay.
Yeah, I'll beat you. They had a fight, but that's beside the point.
Okay.
So, now, I turn around and I said he says to me one day, Imus. He said, hey, you don't like Steve Sharippa? I said, he's a bully. What? I said, he's a bully. And I went on to tell him why he's a bully. Next week he has Steve Sharippa around, which is that right. Steve has a right to protect himself if I'm calling him a bully. And he said, well, you know something about me about that. I inherited him from Stern. Now I'm watching, listen to this. I'm ready to throw the shoe out. I say, you fucking liar. You piece of shit liar. Turn around, I'm in Vegas. 3 o'clock in the morning, they wake me up because he's doing a live thing from Vegas. So he's got to be on 6 o'clock in New York. I got up out of bed and do a show. I became one of his top guests. You understand? And all of a sudden, he decides who's right and who's wrong. What I'll call him means I want to bring Pat here so you can talk to Steve's face. You see? But he took a part, see? I was one of his best fucking guests. Then McGurk turns around over the air. He goes, well, where's Pat going? And I'm yelling to the set, you piece of shit. I've been there already. Where the fuck are you going? You don't belong. He's trying to become a comic. He's as funny as shit. That's how funny he is. But... I said, you inherited me. Now I want to defend myself because Howard never told me not to come on this show. He never told me to go on Imus. Well, no one tells me what to do. But to tell me that you inherited me,
right.
First of all, he's not in any of your leagues. He's a boring old fucking man. And I got to tell you this, he's not a nice man. And the big protection is he has a ranch. His ranch is 3 ducks and a fucking cow. But he's got a ranch, so anytime they knock his brains out, he goes, "When I'm raising money for children, why don't you raise money for your fucking brains and how to treat people?" He's very evil toward people. He doesn't know class. He doesn't understand it. He's a fucking horseshit cowboy that hangs around New York and can't ride a fucking horse. That's the
And the biggest mistake he made was going on Reverend Al's show?
The biggest mistake he made was showing he's not a fucking man. But meanwhile, he's talking to political greats what they should and shouldn't do. He didn't stand up. And I got news for you. His radio show's going to go on the shitter. He'll never be the Imus of yesterday because everybody will tell you, you're a fucking dog.
Right.
Now, how he stood up to Sharpton and said, "How dare you think that I said that? Fuck you, Al, and fuck your racist remarks." How about that? Now, you come on the air, and I'll tell you what I think here. And let me tell you, there are black people I don't like. There are Italians I don't like. But don't call me a fucking racist, you asshole.
Yeah,
But he
see,
turned
that I
around.
agree with. That part I definitely agree with. The way he handled it was awful. The tail between his legs, the apologizing, the groveling, to the likes of Reverend Al Sharpton, who shouldn't be given credibility by anybody.
Did you read today's paper? Al says he's not sure yet if he's going to let him off.
Yeah, if he's going to allow him.
That enraged us. We talked about that yesterday.
Yeah, he wants to hear from Citadel and ABC what it is, if there's things in his contract that'll keep him from saying bad things. Since when is Reverend Al involved in his contract, other people's contracts?
Reverend Al is a bully. That's what it breaks down.
He's a racist, a separatist.
Yeah.
He's one of the worst. He is like the opposite of he's the black side of what the Ku Klux Klan is.
I tell you, and I'll bet my life on it, there are African Americans that don't like this man.
Oh, yeah.
That he's hurt the
plenty
goddamn
of them.
culture.
Yep.
He's hurt the culture.
We've heard that from a lot of black
Going to
people.
be ashamed of himself.
Pat, he doesn't make a living unless there's hatred between the
know that.
races.
We know
So
that.
he keeps it going. He keeps the heat on. He keeps race baiting and throwing out his racist remarks. And the
It's
guy
going to hit him
is
in the
making
ass.
a living
It's
doing
got to
it.
hit him in the ass sooner or later
Well,
because people
why
are
are we
getting
part of
tired.
him?
Why are we one of the only shows that call out Al like that? Most of these guys haven't said shit about the Imus thing and Reverend Al.
Whoa.
Everyone's
Just in general, man.
Everyone's afraid of Reverend Al now.
Like, comedy, we know radio.
Fuck
And a
Reverend
lot
Al.
of these radio show hosts, they just fucking were too scared to, speak their mind about this whole
I'm
thing.
going to tell you why. They have no character, and they have no fucking dignity. They'll give up their fucking radio. What are you, crazy? Give up my radio from, they say, $2 million a year and have a guy dump on me?
Then we're
you know what?
insane,
How do you
right?
how do you look at your children? How do you look at your family? $2 million, shove it up your ass, I'll shove a garbage. You're not going to do that. My dignity is my life. That's all I got. I have my dignity. What the fuck you doing to my dignity? I went on Tom Snyder, and I went after about half a dozen fucking entertainers. They said, "You're gonna lose your job. You're not gonna do comments." I raised my price 1,000, you asshole. Don't tell me what to do. So Tom Snyder says, "You sure you know what you're doing?" In case you didn't hear me the first time, Tom, I'll say it fucking again. And I said it again. Next day, my wife calls me, God love her soul. She goes, "Pat, what's the matter with you? Why are you going crazy?" I'm not going crazy. Fuck him. She goes, "What?" "Fuck him again." She goes, "Why you say that word? You don't need the word. Fuck him, fuck him, fuck him, fuck him." You understand? And she turns around, she goes, a year later, my wife walked down the street, all right, and they said, "Are you Pat Cooper's wife?" She says, "What a man I married. That was worth everything I have today. What a man I married." And I'm not a tough guy. I don't fight nobody. But I say what's on my mind. So if I'm wrong, you say you're wrong. Okay, fine.
Right.
We all. But to be wrong is wonderful. That's how you learn.
Well, it's scary what radio is becoming because now you got to think about being nice on the radio. We talk about this all the time as well. Like,
Yeah, why you got to be nice?
Like what? Who
People have to be nice to every. If you don't like somebody, you should be able to get
Bob
on the
Grant,
air
who's
and
a friend
say,
of mine. Bob Grant's a
we
friend of mine.
love Bob
He
Grant.
cried. He cried when they called him a racist. He cried on the air. He said, "I'm not a racist." I says, I called him. I says, "Bob, you don't have to cry. What the fuck you crying for?"
You can act like a man.
I said,
What's the matter with you?
So he gets fired. And he goes to another program, and finally he retires. Now I understand he's back again. And I love Bob.
Let it be known, he was at a radio station a few years back.
Yeah.
Ant and I couldn't run fast enough down the hall to meet that man.
to meet him.
We love that
Well,
guy.
absolutely.
The
You know
shit
why?
he used to say back in the day.
But-
you want to talk about balls?
Thank you.
You want to talk about balls? Like,
Thank you.
holy shit!
But he
Thank
never,
you.
he never came back from that. from that whole episode.
Well, you know why?
Well, he was getting older too, though. You know.
You know why he cried? He was terribly hurt to think that people would think that of him all the years he's been on that radio. Why would you? In other words, if I said one thing, that's the end of my career. But then he got hired from another station.
Well, that's what we're faced with.
But it was never the same.
No, it wasn't.
We're faced with that.
That's
One thing could get you kicked off the radio.
Oh, you could get your job back, but then they'll put all kinds of rules on you that you can't say this and that and the other thing. And now it's not even just the FCC. It's the company itself tells you, don't talk about this, don't talk about this racial group, don't talk about the blacks, the Asians, the Jews, don't talk about this. And then you're left with nothing.
All right, I'm in the shopping mall. And I said to the woman, I says, are they on sale, these pants? Huh? Are they on sale, these pants? And she rings a bell. And another guy comes over. And she's talking to the guy in her native tongue. God bless her. And I says, you gotta learn English. Please, Mother of Jesus, learn fucking English. I don't want the fucking pants. You understand? Fuck the sale and fuck the pants. Another guy comes over. I said, 3 fucking guys. What, are you got 3 interpreters here? I don't want the fucking pants. The guy, ma'am, sir, what seems to be the problem? When the fuck you gonna speak English? The fuck is wrong with you people? It's an insult to my culture. It's an insult to America. Don't give him the fucking job. I don't give a fuck what you said. Speak fucking English.
If you're dealing with the public, you should be able to speak English.
Come
Simple
on.
as that.
But nobody was this one.
Simple as fucking
You're
that.
offending. I said, fuck them.
Yeah.
Go back where you came from. This is my country. I go to Italy. I try to speak Italian. Whatever. Make a lot of neck movement. At least I'm trying. At least I'm fucking trying. These people, they need the job. I mean, when I see a guy with a turban in the car, and he speaks, yes, sir, may I? What can I? Take me to 39 cents to a thank you. And I look and I see, you know something? I'm looking at an oil painting. I'm looking at India. What a fucking nice culture.
You want to kiss them.
And as a joke, I said, when'd you get that lanced? And he turns around and he goes, and this is the kicker. He goes, Mr. Cooper, I listened to you on Stern. And I said, well, thank you. He's recognized the voice. But, you know, at least he had a sense of humor. Then the guy pulled a fucking knife and I'm dead.
Wait, there's a problem there. He used to listen to you on Stern. We inherited you from Stern.
I know you did.
You're like an heirloom,
I
a
never knew who
priceless
he was.
heirloom.
Hey, Pat, that was pretty clever on my part. You got to be honest.
Can I tell you something? You two guys, if you lose clever,
That's a bet.
you'll be sermonizing cars, trust me. You're very clever. You have reached a nice peak. Now, what I think is next, you got to go on the tube. That's the next thing.
Well, if we had a real agent, that would happen.
Well, you can't have everything. Look at you two guys. Who the fuck wants to be your agent?
That's true.
You got a job, but I'm saying that would be nice. Even if they play it a day later or something, it would be nice.
We've been yelling that for years.
You don't yell, because if you yell, you never get it. You got to just say, I don't want it.
Right.
You understand? Get the fucking cameras out of here.
And they'll be clamoring to get him in.
Yeah.
They even built this brand new studio that is perfect for a TV show.
Yeah.
A few cameras here and there.
It'll come.
Do a little something.
It'll
something.
come.
We got a couple ideas.
I don't care. You know what you say? The very, very easiest thing to get on TV. I want to have a reality show. What? I want to show what life is all about. What's life about? Beating the shit out of the old lady. Beating the shit out of your kids. That's a reality show. But they all turn around, so wife swapping.
Yeah.
I like wife swapping and I can fuck his wife. I don't want wife swapping to come in my house and to clean my kids. That's wife swapping. Reality. I haven't seen a reality show. These assholes are going to the fucking jungle to win $1 million. I wouldn't go to Harlem. What the fuck am I going to go to fucking jungle? They want to make $1 million and become athletes. They climb in a fucking tree. Leave the monkeys alone. Who the fuck are you to tell the monkeys you can't climb that fucking tree? All of a sudden, this other guy, I live with the animals because you're a fucking animal. This other guy's in the water with the fucking crocodiles. Then he goes into the fucking cave and the goddamn bats are eating his hair. He goes, you gotta eat my hair because you're an asshole. What the fuck you doing in a bat cave, you sick bastard? Like talking to a wall.
So you're not a fan of reality shows, huh?
They're not reality. I'll give you a fucking reality show. Give me a half an hour. I don't want no props or nothing. I'll tell you what the fuck I think.
That would be an interesting show.
Yeah.
What do you think of Donald Trump?
I like Donald. I must tell you about Donald Trump.
Ooh.
Donald Trump,
This was just a
when
shot in the dark.
he was ready to
Hit on
go
something.
bankrupt.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
He told everybody, kiss my fucking ass. I ain't gonna, and he stood by what he was. He's a big. He belongs with cement. He builds. That's his business. He makes money. Now, you read in today's paper, he gave $100 bills out so that they can turn around and buy his book.
Yeah.
All right, so he causes controversy. People say, I got a $10 bill, I got a $20 bill.
If you don't know the story really fast, he handed out $50 to everybody in this one area, so it looked like there was a crowd waiting to buy his book.
Right.
And then he came out in the limo, and they all had like fake signs like wrestling.
Oh, Jesus, really?
You know, like the fake wrestling signs?
He's a promoter. How the fuck you? You got to promote your show. You promote it. You understand? He promotes his way, and everybody promotes their own way. But let me tell you something. They make too much of his hair. Whenever they roast him, every comic says,
"Oh, I know the same hair, Joe."
Get off of his fucking hair already. Leave it the fuck. That's all you can talk about is fucking hair.
So hack when because we saw his roast.
Well, barely.
Yeah, barely, because Voss got us the seats.
Pat, we don't rate. We were invited to the Donald Trump roast. We were in the boonies, like way in the back.
It was over at the Sheraton. They gave us seats at the Hilton.
You know how big Donald Trump was? He was this big, and I'm not even joking. This big. That's what we saw.
Well,
and it was hair jokes.
Invite him over here.
Oh, he's been on the show.
He's been
but now he hates us.
But then he doesn't like us. And I can't even tell you why.
We can't follow Donald Trump.
I can't even tell you why, because that's his new thing. Like, he just hates people. He'll get on and talk about how he does Rosie O'Donnell, and then he talked yesterday about Angelina Jolie. He doesn't like her. That's his new thing.
But
he just
that's
says,
okay. You know what it is? It keeps him in the papers. It keeps him to say something. So
he's smart. That's what he's doing. He's
Meanwhile,
promoting.
you hear the guy in where was it? Guatemala don't want to sell him the fucking land. Guy's got 290 fucking acres.
Scotland.
All right, so
he wants to build like a state of the art, like I don't know,
$1 billion golf course.
Is it $1 billion? That's what I was going to say, but that sounds.
The guy said, "I ain't. My cows are more important, or my fucking ducks are more important. Fuck you." That's his privilege. So Donald said, "I'm going to build on top, and I got that." What the fuck is that? What about the trees and the fucking ants and the things that have to run around and fly? When the fuck are we going to stop? Very soon there'll be never. You know, I like to see a fly once in a while. You can't go in the fucking bathroom. There's no more flies. They got this disinfecting. The fucking flies. They make the door, and then you hear, boom. And then I go there. I can't get a hard on, and I'm wondering why. Because I'm peeing in these fucking places, and that aerosol shit. And I'm saying, and my lady friend goes, "What's that smell? You got some perfume on?" It's that shit that they're killing flies with. And I never see a fucking fly try to get on my balls so I can die. That's what it is.
Yeah, they get those little spray things in there, and you breathe them in insecticides.
We need that shit. We need flies. We need manure. We need that to grow things. Horse shit grows beautiful flowers.
So stop building. What about global warming?
That was Al Gore. Oh, fuck. Fuck Al Gore. Al Gore knows as much about global warming. You understand? The only thing he knows is steam heat. He don't know about fucking up. Where does this man come off when you got great scientists who are in the fucking trenches, who are living on top of Mount Everest, who are freezing their balls off to find out why the fucking polar bear ain't fucking anymore? That's important. That's important. Yeah. What about the polar bear fucking? There's no more cubs. And what happens? There's too many seals. Who's gonna eat the fucking seals? So they get the Japanese, they get boats and they say, "I'm seal meat." I don't fucking understand it anymore. Let life be the way it was. During the days of Columbus and the Queen Elizabeth there, nobody bothered. The trees were growing. People were farting. It was a contest. It was wonderful. Now we can't even fart. That's why you got cancer. They ain't got bowel movement. Why can't you have cancer? I don't go take a shit in 3 days. Well, you got to take a burying. What's a burying? We put a thing in your fossil and then we loosen it up. You must go to the toilet at least once a day. Oh, yeah, but I don't. Why have I got pain? Because the corrosion is up your ass, ain't coming out. That's why you got pain. I'm not a doctor, but I'll tell you, that's the fucking problem. You must dump.
You got to shit once a day.
My father was like a fucking ballet. He got up at 6 o'clock in the morning because what's in my paper. He closed the door, nobody coming in, and it was like you're gonna and he'd finished. And he turned around. You walked in there, you didn't smell now. You respected the next person coming there.
Well, how do you get rid of the smell?
My father said, they got garlic. They got to be fucking
garlic.
My father says, doing that is an art form. Remember, when you go to a doctor and he tells you how's your movement, he's interested. When he don't give a shit about that, then you got a problem. Right. You must Get rid of all that. That's why I see how nice the horses, and they go. We're human beings. We have a fucking problem. You know why? We crossbreed food. I'm an Italian. All you should eat is Italian food. I eat Chinese food. The fucking ass locks. Because it's not used to Chinese food. That's why we're having pains and aches, and people saying, "Geez, you're not a doctor. Why would you say that?" That's common sense. Why do the Jewish people have bowel problems? They eat Chinese food every fucking Sunday, and then pastrami, and then they go into the Italian, and the intestines are going, what the fuck is coming down here? What is coming down here? I had a fucking I've had a pastrami sandwich, then I had some Chinese food. Well, that's why you got pains.
He has a way of simplifying everything, because if you really think about that horse thing, wow.
Yeah, horse will just shit anyway. They don't care. They never you never see a horse with a bowel movement.
If you watch a horse shit, it flows out real nicely.
Would you give a horse a steak sandwich? He would fucking die. He's happy to be in a barn, lifting his leg up, peeing his shit, and having some hay. He's a content fucking animal.
So you're saying, pasta, some meatball Parmesan heroes?
I eat Italian food 7 days a fucking week. Once in a while, I'll hit the Chinese restaurants, and the first thing you got to do, the first thing you got to ask for is the hot oil. You have hot oil? Yes, we have a hot oil. Put the hot oil down there. Why? Just in case it obstructs my bowel movement. That'll fucking you'll start hearing trumpets. And I turn around and I have my little dish of that, a lot of vegetables, whatever there is, there, poopy, pop, pop, and then next day, and I get the call of the wild, and I go, and I'm happy. Because my wife died to 6 months, used to go once a week, and I tell her...
Oh, jeez.
Oh, terrible. Well, cheese? Love cheese.
Oh, cheese.
I thought you said cheese. Anyway. But you know what I'm saying? And what happens is all that life... 71, 72 years old, she passed on, and, she suffered terrible with that. She had all kinds of things. I said, sweetie, it was hereditary. Her father had the same problem, mother. But when she would see me go 3 times in one day, she would cry. So how do you do that? I said, put my hands on the bowl, and I sit there, and I say, I ain't leaving it till I go. I don't give a fuck if you all burst. I gotta go. If I think I missed a day, and I'm very... I read a paper, I read a magazine, I read the penthouse letters, try to get an erection, I try everything. That's the truth.
Just sit there until you're
Nothing
done.
moves. I took Viagra, stupid me, and it's not no lie. I take Viagra, and I'm in front of the mirror. So my doctor says, well, who'd you go with? I said, there was nobody but me. You're supposed to have a woman, you dumb fuck. So I swear to I'm in front of the mirror, I'm saying, this thing don't even move. That's how dumb I am. So whenever you think somebody think I'm too smart, I'm fucking dumb. But you see, that's I want to get an erection naturally.
We're learning a lot today. We got to make sure we
want anything natural.
I told a girl, you want a manada twice? She goes, I don't like sauce on my meat. Look at my fucking problem. No, but I mean, all my life I had a natural. So now to start taking, I get things from Spain. Listen to this. They have a patch. You put the patch on your ass for 3 hours. I put it on my ass for 3 hours and went back to smoking. So what the fuck is that tell you? What the fuck does that tell you? So, nothing works. That means my father would say you are dead. Accept what the God told you. You have enough of fucking, and now go to work and shut up. Now you rehearse dying. That's what you do. You get ready.
So, we're learning a lot.
Yeah, very educational program.
We need flies.
Yeah, miss the flies. There's no flies around. He's right, too.
Why are you looking at your watch? What happened?
I have to look at my watch.
What
because
happened?
Do you mind?
I thought we were having fun.
Do you mind? I want to see how long I'm on this fucking thing and who's paying the check here.
Oh, boy. I was going to say, we're
Jesus.
going to get a bill.
No, you said 10:30.
I gave you an hour of funny.
You said 10:30.
All right, if you want to leave, leave.
No,
10:30.
you said 10:30, you sick fuck. I don't know what the fuck.
Treat this man with respect, Opie. Not your usual shenanigans.
I love Pat Cooper.
It's a paisan.
Always have.
You know what it is? You know what it is, Opie and Anthony? It's, someone said to me, which was, that was a nice compliment, you're unique. So, and I would tell this, my friend here on my right, to be different is you'll last longer, I think. A girl today or a man today would sing with his finger in his nose, become a wealthy person. But if you sound like Pavarotti, you can't get a fucking job. That's how things have changed. But I accept that. I'm on my way out. I accept the way the comedy's going, the way the singing's going. I miss the Sinatra things, and I'm fucking deaf anyway. I can't hear shit. I'm deaf. I went for $14,000 for hearing aids. 14 fucking grand. I went to Minneapolis where these Starkeys, they're wonderful people. They do it for nothing. I said, what I owe you? The guy says, nothing. Make a donation. I said, geez, you're kidding me. No, so I gave him $6,000. They ran into the factory, made me another fucking hearing aid that I can't hear anyway. So I got 2 fucking hearing aids for $6,000. I still can't fucking hear. I can hear an ant fart. I can't hear my daughter talking to me. So there you are. Technology. We go to the fucking moon. We know all about humping and all about masturbation. We know about prophylactics. We know about sick fucking things. Me, I can't fucking hear. I'm on the plane, they're yelling, fire! I said, get me another drink. I can't hear shit. But I'm lucky. I can still murmur here. I don't know what the fuck you said all this afternoon.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It does matter. It's important. These are important things when I leave this planet. When I leave the planet, you say, you want to talk about comedy? Here's a wacko for play this fucking guy. Because that's wonderful. That's wonderful. You donate to society and whatever you do. You're donating to society, and if they remember you, fine. If not, fuck them. You know, they're gonna get crazy.
I think you'll go down in history being remembered as unique is a good word for it.
I like that.
You know, something that other people use other words for unique, but you know, it depends on if they're your friends or not.
The only
but
bad
you're definitely
thing,
unique.
The only thing I don't like is when you say something that's on your mind and the person you're saying it about wants to get physical. And I laugh at him. I says, I want you to hit me, you fucking asshole. You put your hands on me, I'll fucking own you. And maybe I'll kill you, too. How's that fucking grab you? And they look at you. Just go ahead. Let's see. You want to give up your life for mine? Go ahead, you fucking asshole. Because that's not right. You got something to say, you sit down, you discuss it. I apologize. If I hurt you, I apologize. I'm not a nice man. And you're doing it. That's a fucking man.
You ever get clocked in the head?
My mother.
Oh, really?
My mother enjoyed hitting me.
Oh,
She thought it was better than cooking pasta. She says, my mother will go like this here. She goes, the next Thursday, I'm going to hit you. So this is Monday. I got to wait 3 fucking days. Was I going to the fucking chair?
Oh, man.
She goes, today's a Tuesday. You have 2 more days. And then I come a Wednesday. At Thursday morning, I'm going to break your fucking head. Oh. She didn't say fuck. She said fuck. Yeah, fuck you.
But she would beat you a little bit?
My mother was the greatest fighter I ever came up against. My mother would bite you. And in the summertime, I would wear long sleeves when I went to school. They said, ain't you warm? I said, no. I didn't want to show them the fucking bite marks. But, you know, she would go, you know, not bite me and bleed at me, but she would, you know.
There's something about Italian women that with the biting, because I remember my mother, when she would get mad, so she wouldn't hit us, she'd put her hand in her mouth and go, oh! She'd go, oh! And until she had teeth marks and calluses on her fingers, because she would bite her hand like that.
All Italian women do that.
Yeah. And then my father was the disciplinarian. He was the one with the strap who'd take out and beat my ass.
My father hit me maybe twice, and the last time he hit me, I called the cops on him, and that was my end of relations with my father.
Wow,
he was terribly embarrassed, and he was letting me have it. And I walked out of the house, and I was fucking devastated that my old man. I said, "Who the fuck you hitting like that? You crazy?"
How old were you?
I was about 14. Now I'll give you another one. I'm 11 years old, and I'm crying outside. And the woman next door says, "Patsy, what's the matter? What are you crying for?" I said, "My mother, she wants to put my head in the oven." He goes, "That means she loves you." I said, "Really? Let her put your fucking head in the oven and let her fucking love you." So she tells my mother, "He calling me folk. He calling me a folk." I said, "Fuck you. Put my head in the fucking oven. What is this here? What am I, a fucking roast?"
I mean, she loves you. Where the fuck does that come from?
Well, that's what the woman next door said.
I have an observation. Like, Pat starts getting serious, but he can't go too far with it, and then he hits you hard with a joke right away.
It's not a joke, it's facts. Nobody, you know what pissed me off? Nobody believes it.
Right.
Nobody fucking
I thought we were going to hear more about your father. Next thing you know, you're swinging hard with a fine line.
Yeah, my mother tried beating me once with the strap, and it hit the tip of my
penis.
My penis. He hit the very tip. She hit because I was hiding in the bunk bed trying to keep her from getting a good swing on me, but she sidearmed me, you know? She sidearmed, and it hit the tip, and I must have screamed.
Sure.
And she threw that strap down and was crying, and I'm so sorry. Never tried hitting me again. After that, it was over.
My mother say, "I'm going to go tomorrow. We're going to do this again." You know.
Oh, God.
But, you know, that years ago they said that's raising your family. But today you do that today to hit a gun, and I don't like that.
How do you discipline your kids then?
Very simple.
Because they know you're not going to get beat.
You stand up. No, my opinion, Mo.
Yeah, I don't know.
You stand
I don't know the answer.
up to them. You stand up there. He says, you're going to do what? Now, you know how you do it? You say, here, you want the drugs? Would you like some drugs? They look at you. I'll buy them. We'll sit at a table, me, you, your sister, and your mother, and we'll all get high together. And they go out, yeah, I will buy the drugs. They go, Daddy, you what? Then they say, listen to this. They say, what kind of drugs you going to buy? Look at this. I said, I'm going to buy oregano. And you shove it up your nose, and you hear Malavam in it for 2 hours. And they look at you, and they go, Pop, you're kidding me. Remember that. And don't hang out with gangs, and don't be a rat, and don't say anything about anybody. My mother had the Venetian blinds. My father had the shingles. We never told nobody. Quiet. Don't be a fucking rat. Gonna have people come up. You know what Mary said to me at school today? But I don't want to hear. I want to hear. Okay? My daughter's a special ed school teacher. I got 2 grandkids. And I said, shh. Hiya, Pop. They go, what are you doing? I want you to understand, you are now going to a higher school. You're going to start to hear things, and that what you don't understand, don't ask them. Ask your Papa. Papa knows. That's it. And they'll ask me, and I'll tell them, this is reality. And I tell my son-in-law, and I tell my daughter, you got to give them a little reality. I'm a street guy. I grew up on the streets. I said, these kids ain't got that privilege. So you got to tell them when they say, what does that mean? Tell them, because they are going to be alert. Because my son-in-law's a nice kid. Well, I don't doubt. You dip it in? You like to dip it in? Huh? You like to fucking dip it in? Huh? They're human. They want to be dipped in. Do you mind your fucking business? They want to dip it in. You got to tell them. Why do we need protection? Because a guy may have a clodhopper on the head of his cock. That's why. You need protection. I said, it's like a grasshopper, but it only has 1 leg.
I
understand?
I don't know how this happened, but Craig from Scranton says, guys, Pat is scaring the shit out of me. I'll never smoke pot again.
That's solving the drug problem.
Holy crap.
Because you make them interested when you do something like that. If he goes, I don't want you to smoke pot, you don't smoke it. You just go, come on. You know, that. It's like we're giving him a cookie behind their mother's back. That's the cookie they want, and they love you for it. He goes, don't tell your mother I'm going to give it a cookie.
Well, because they expect you to go, don't smoke the pot and yelling and screaming, right?
I say, I'm going to go with you. Oh, we're going to go all the way up on top. Oh, we're going to fly all the way. So, yeah. I says, then they laugh and they look, and I tell them, if I catch you, I says, I will kill my grandkids. Understand? While you're sleeping, I will strangle the both of you. And my daughter goes, hey, Dad, you're making them scared. Shh, don't you start.
Yeah, don't ruin it.
But they love me because I think about them all the time, and I call them and I tell them what I think about them, how I miss them. I want to fight them and hug them, and I tell them how lucky that they can come somewhere after school and have someone say that to them.
Right.
And they look. So that's, as cruel as people think I am, I got a heart. I feel for people. I really do, and I think it's important.
What country did they move to?
My children. I'm not easy because I'm very dramatic.
Yes.
You understand? When I say, excuse me, everybody, I have to communicate with nature. I don't say I have to take a shit. I got to communicate with nature. And they go,
when nature calls.
No. You do your shit, I do mine. Don't tell me when nature calls. I just say, I'm going to communicate with, and I go. And I don't say that in front of the kids. I take a dump. And they laugh. They go, gee, that seems to be. And they tell their teacher, my father communicates with nature. Yeah.
Jimmy, I bet you he has perfect dumps.
I'm sure he does. They're probably Pat gets very serious about very odd things, which I like. Yeah. My father, God bless him, he flushed 3 times every time he shit. It never smelled. Pat's just...
He remembers those tender moments.
Right, that's a tender moment for Pat.
Drugs and shit are those things he gets the quietest and sweetest about.
Tender, sweet moments.
I went on a ship, believe it or not, a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
About a month and a half ago, I went to Spain. And the name of the ship was the Silver Whisperer. So, when you go to a foreign country, you're not in America. People forget that. Now, I don't know. I got to get euro. That's their money.
Sure.
So I see a casino. I go in the casino, and I say, excuse me, I need $1,000 worth of euro. And he gives me back $600. I said, I didn't make a fucking bet yet. You're taking $400 fucking dollars of my money? He says, yeah. I said, excuse me, are there any Jews here? He said, beg your pardon? Are there any fucking Jews here? What do you want Jews here? You know why they're not here? Because you can't fuck a Jew with the money. I said, I'm a fucking apostate, you cockknocker, and you're taking $400 fucking dollars? He goes, but that is the law. What you starting with me? I said, that's what I'm starting. The fuck, you crazy? I come to Europe now. We go from Barcelona. We're going to go now to Valencia. There's an island. Valencia up the mountain. Right. So we land at Valencia. I'm sitting next to an old lady. She's going, oh, I never, Mr. Cooper. Have you ever been to Valencia? I said, no. I said, she goes, well, you know, we're leaving tonight and then we're going to go to Isma. I says, no, we're not. She goes, what do you mean? I said, no, that's what they're bullshitting you. I said, so we're going around the back of Valencia. They're going to tell you it's another fucking island. She says, why? I said, because why the fuck should they go to 4 islands when they all look the same? They got a fucking mountain, they got a couple of ships. What the fuck you want? Don't you think she tells the captain? I don't know.
A knock on the door.
Yeah, yes, Mr. Cooper, the captain would like to see you. I said, oh, an Italian guy. And I go to see him in his office. And he looks at me with a smile. He says, Mr. Cooper, you're telling people only going to one island. It's a fucking joke. It's a fucking joke. He said, well, that woman thinks we're going to Valencia for 4 times. It's a joke. I said, we're going to land in Monaco. He said, but you know, she's an 80-some-odd-year-old woman. She said, I'm not getting my money, so I'm going to cause a fucking riot. Now, never worked the ships many years ago. I turn around, the ship leaves an hour late. In my comedic mind, and we pull out. Ladies and gentlemen, Pat Cooper, I want to apologize, ladies and gentlemen. We left an hour late. We had a flat. And by the way, we're lost! The captain wants to see you. I go up there where the fuck the captain sits. He goes, why are you telling people we are lost? I said, do me a fucking favor. I said, drive the fucking ship, I'll do the comedy. I thought he was kidding me. He says, you'll leave the ship tomorrow. And they landed in Puerto Rico and trim it the fuck off.
Are you serious?
He said, we don't drive the ship. We sail the ship. Sail, drive. Who the fuck cares? Let's get the fucking... And, you know, it don't mean... That's what I'm trying to say. When you're funny and the audience loves you, he don't like you, off the fucking ship. So there's your answer.
Maybe no one was sleeping on the ship and they needed a good night's sleep.
Oh, that's great. That old lady probably thought she had the make on the captain. Hey, I know what you're doing. Yeah. Going around the same island. There's a guy out there told me.
I said, but this woman, you know, what do I know? They're all frightened at 80, 85. And she tells the captain, you're not kidding me. We're going to the same island all around in a circle.
What a great gag.
Of course, now she started to tell everybody else.
Of course she did.
That's a really funny line.
My lady friend said to me, you know, she says, Pat, I mean, they don't understand your flow. I said, I didn't even tell the captain. She goes, well, then everybody's got a sense of fucking humor.
Right.
She goes, now when we went to IB's and then we went to Corsica, and she says, you know, Mr. Cooper, I got they all really look the same. And I go, they are.
Here goes the knock again. Hey, Bill from Waterford writes, not only will I never do illegal drugs because of Pat Cooper, I won't even take over-the-counter drugs. I'll learn to live with my depression. Scared a lot of people with that drug thing, Pat.
Well, that's a big subject today, you know, and I don't know. I don't need, you know, if I ever took drugs, forget about it. They'd have to carry me out of here.
Yeah. We wouldn't want to see you on drugs.
I'm happy where I came from, and this is it. And again, it's all 78.
Right.
It's over. Where the fuck
treated you well your whole life?
Yeah.
Yeah, your attitude, the way you carry yourself. Sure.
What else you going to do?
You're fine.
But come in here and respect people. And I kid you, I said,
this is respect?
Year.
Holy
Took
shit.
you a fucking year to put me back on
A
the
year
show.
to put him back on.
Yeah, because we...
Remember when Stranahan walked in here?
Yeah, you were here
and
for
I
that.
said to him, I said, I know
is
I
that
took
good?
your day. I said, but the fucking show's over.
Yeah.
And he looked at me and what the fuck I was talking about, because we had a great show that day.
Absolutely.
And you went like this.
You just brought back a memory. Yeah, Pat left the studio.
damn,
and we had Michael Strahan
and Ian Smith, yeah.
and they're nice
did
guys.
you nail him, though?
Yeah. We have a tough time communicating with you because we have tried to get you on the show since.
Really?
Yeah, people like it was Ben when Ben was still working for the show, and it's like Pat doesn't understand. I'm on the phone with him; he can't hear me.
Maybe you
Is there
should have
another way
had
to
that.
get to you?
You should have had that oregano speech
I
with
heard the
Ben.
other gentleman.
Campos?
Campos. I called him, but you see,
Where's Roland? Here's Roland.
What happens if I'm not sure? I tell my girlfriend, and she says this is what's said.
There's Roland.
Sometimes when they're on a cell, calling me on my cell,
You can't hear. We really did have a tough time, communicating with you on the phone.
This is Roland, and
How
let me
did
tell
you
you.
get me, Roland? Then I call you right back.
You call me right back.
He's great on mic, Roland. He's great. He's the consummate professional.
Yeah.
Very talented on the microphone.
Matter of fact, why don't we do this? What do you know about Pat Cooper? Give him props right now, live on the show.
He is a brilliant comic.
Are you from Turkey?
He eats 3 a day.
That's all you got?
That's wonderful, Campos. That's wonderful. You see, at least you speak in English. When I heard you on my tape recorder, I had a really lower because you're speaking very fast. But that's nice. I said, gee, the guy can understand him. Then the girl said, where are you going to go? What the fuck do I know? But when I left you the message and then you called, because soon as I got the message, I called right back. I didn't hesitate.
We would love to have you back, man.
Well, I'm glad to be here. I love to be here. What's the matter
Roland,
with
so
you?
you are able to communicate with him, so get him back on the show soon.
Okay.
Are you Greek, Roland?
No, I'm Mexican.
Well, don't say it. Be proud.
I'm Mexican, yeah.
That's proud.
But you see, now here's a man in show business.
Yeah.
And he's happy, he's content. And in a couple of years, he'll be sitting there.
No. Trust me, we've tried.
No.
There'd be a lot of dead air.
You know what happens? He becomes a character of radio, and they love him.
Oh, no,
Well,
he
is definitely a character of radio.
He knows how to sing Elvis and other. He's been gold, man. So
We love him.
All right, we're going to end the show. What is Pat Cooper promoting there, Roland?
Friar Club on Friday?
Friars Club.
The Friar Club. He didn't even pluralize it.
Friar Club.
Friar Club.
Friar Club.
I'll
What is
give you
that?
November 10th, the John Holmes Stadium in Englewood, New Jersey. But, I didn't come here for that. I come here to bust
it's
your
all
balls.
good. It's all
Come
good.
in, bust balls.
Do you have a
talk
website,
about Friday,
Pat?
the big roast.
PatCooper.com. He does.
Do you really have a website?
Yeah.
PatCooper.com?
My son-in-law, I still got the dial phone. I don't know from the show.
So someone else is doing
My
that for you?
son-in-law, he's good at that. He gets...
And all your tour dates are up on PatCooper.com?
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's all you need to know. Yep. All right, we're going to end the show because
Well, this is what I got. I think you got me on my son-in-law. I think you left
Yeah,
the number. Then I called him,
both.
and then we got...
And then you communicated.
Okay.
All right, we're not doing line of the
Then
day
I
today.
kidded him yesterday. I said, I don't do the fucking show. I took a fucking year. I said, Mr. Cooper, you are a very funny man. I don't give a fuck about a fucking funny. I don't fucking... What time you want me? It goes 9:30. Me, schmuck, I came here, put on 11. It's 111. So I passed this building. I go, gee, this building looks familiar. Maybe they moved. So I'm looking for 11. There's 9. A big fucking 9 in that building. I go, this 11. The guy goes, what are you, blind? It's a big fucking 9. So I said, it must be 111. I turned around. I came here. Anyway.
The great Pat Cooper.
Yes.
We love when you come by. Pat.
Absolutely.
It's been way too long.
Pleasure to have you in.
It's a
Definitely.
pleasure to be here. Anytime.
Thanks, Pat.
All right.
I like it. It gives me... Now, see, this is therapy.
Is it really?
You see. Now, and I'm going to say something. I say it on the stage, but, the desperation of the tube and the... they had a guy, if you remember Beyond, they had a show called Beyond, like when Dr. Phil was getting hot and all that. And people want to,
Oh, right. Talk to their dead relatives and
So
stuff.
the guy says to this guy, he says, I'd like to talk to my father. You know what the guy said to him? Your father don't want to talk to you. I looked at my girl, I said, fucking sick. And I say that on the stage, he gets a fucking scream. I says, look how fucking sick we are. What the fuck you can't... I got trouble talking to the live people. What the fuck am I to talk to the dead? But this is how scared. Now we got a woman come on. She's a psych. She goes around and she smells this, she smells that. Who the fuck cares? Why don't you let us live? We don't want to know about tomorrow. We're trying to live to fucking today. Oh, hey, what are you going to eat next Thursday? Your cock. What am I going to eat? I don't know what I'm going to eat tomorrow, you stupid fuck. My father would say to me, I say, where are we going to go next? We're not going nowhere. We may die in 30 seconds. Would you please dip the fucking bread into sauce and shut up? That was where it was, right in the box. We lived in a box. That was it.
You didn't have to worry, right?
We're talking
You
about
just lived
next.
your life.
Maybe she'll run next 2012. She's lucky if she got the runs. Forget about running. She's not yet. I mean, who can talk 12 years from now? I mean, it's so
Yeah,
bullshit.
making plans 12 years. Get out of here.
You know, I love
Don't know
when they
what's
say,
gonna
well,
happen.
I can't run right now, but I think maybe in 8 years. Fuck you. You may be dead in 8 years, you sick fuck. I mean, live from day to day. Let the kids out there say, Jesus, what's our hurry? Where the fuck we going? Now we're going to go to California in 33 minutes. Why? Because I'm in a hurry to get there. Fuck you in California. I ain't going. So you put you on a chute, up in the air, over the fucking earth, and you land. Now we're going to get pissed off. Gee, I wish I could do it in 12 minutes. We're never fucking satisfied. Never satisfied.
Hey, Pat, you're getting major props on instant feedback.
true.
And this guy says it all. Spidey from Whackbag, great radio guys. Pat has been a great guest, thank you. And then Billy S., this is the one I want to read as well. Rockland County. I've downloaded one show from you guys over the years. This will be number 2.
Who's the number one?
I would
Probably last year when you were on.
I would assume it was probably
So
the
1
last
and
time.
2.
This guy's only downloaded 2 of our shows, and
You're a number 1 and a number 2.
probably. Our shows are on
Get
Audible.
emotional. I get emotional.
Our shows are on Audible.com. We don't
Well,
really
you know
we
something.
don't promote
You know
that, but
something. That's a compliment.
That's a great compliment.
Because you know, I come here. I don't come here to work. I come here to talk.
To hang, that's what we do.
No, but it's not. You come
We try
in
to have that atmosphere.
And you
We try
let
to-
me go because a lot of guys or girls will say and try to interrupt, and I say, don't fuck my flow, because if you fuck my flow, we're going to blow the story. And then I get this sometimes. I say, geez, you're a great guest. But you do it all the time. It's in my fucking sleep I do it, okay? What is the fucking trouble? Do you sleep well? My oath to God. I'd close my... Go to bed. As I'm walking, I'm sleeping. I hit the fucking thing, and that's it. And I normal. I go to bed 10 o'clock sometime, 9:30, 10. Get up at 7 in the morning, make my breakfast with my glaze, a cup of coffee. That's
Take your
fucking-
dump. Don't
Guy
forget the dump.
sleeps well and takes nice dumps.
Nice solid
What a
logs.
life he's living.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Well,
I would love that.
Reagan said it to me last night. She says, you're 78 years old. She said, I said, well, you know, I didn't go partying and drugging. I went up to my dish of macaroni. It was Sunday and Wednesday. Nice, I dipped, nice, I had a little piece of steak. Nice to get the girl. And when you're young, you dip it in a little bit. Oh, that was it, and you went away. You didn't try to strangle yourself, you know. They say, is that all there is? Yeah, baby, yeah, that's all there is. So that's all bullshit. And guy, I went with 4 broads. I went with 9 broads. I said, give me a fucking break. I've been with such hot fucking broads. I says, as I walk in the room, I came. Who you bullshitting? Who you bullshitting? All these guys, fuck that. You're full of shit. Then I go to see in the pee-pee house, and the guy's this fucking small as you're a mushroom. What the fuck you talking about? I say, you see me? And I'm going to tell you something I don't tell nobody. At low tide, I'm still in the water. I don't get it.
There's your line today, brought to you by BowDogFantasy.net. Free life scoring, stats, files, and news that will help you win big this season in fantasy football. All at BowDogFantasy.net. Check that out. The great Pat Cooper. Thank you so much, Pat.
No, thank you for having me.
I hope you remember us.
You made it.
Yeah, I hope you remember us. We'll be at the roast on Friday.
We'll see you Friday,
Yes, be
Pat.
well. I'll see you, hopefully.
All right. We're out of here, guys. Thanks. We'll see you guys tomorrow.